What's up, everybody? Welcome to Prime Time, and we're here with another review of a horror movie. Carrie, what are we reviewing today?
We are reviewing The Plague.
The Plague, directed by Charlie Pullinger, and this was something that I watched because I am an indie or film independent spirit awards voter, and this was nominated for Best Feature, and it had a couple of acting nominations as well, and it's currently in theaters. So I was very excited to check this one out because this was a lot better than I expected. What did you think about this one, Carrie?
Well, I had zero expectations going in
Same.
because I didn't even really know the name of the movie when we started watching it. But yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, so essentially it's about a group of young, like not teenage,
Preteen boys.
Yeah, like 12,
12 and
13.
13.
They are at like this camp or school for learning how to swim. They're like on a swim
It's a
team.
water
polo team. Camp, yeah. What's interesting is not the water polo stuff. That's just like why they're all there. What's interesting is the social dynamics between the boys and how when like one person becomes kind of a social pariah, the psychology behind that and like, you know, the damage that can bring and the psychological torment that can bring. What did you think about the psychology of the film?
Yeah, it was really interesting because, I think a lot of people have experienced that kids can be really mean and outcasts kids who are different from them. So yeah, it was like at times really uncomfortable and also like, relatable. And I think from all sides, like I think you relate to the kids that are being bullied in the film and the kids who are kind of like not contributing so much to the bully, kind of contributing, but also just going along with it because they want to maintain their own social status within this small group.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just very interesting and like
I feel like I don't see a lot of horror movies like this, or really horror thriller movies like this that's just like very psychological about like young children, where the children are all kind of like the main characters and there's really not a lot of adults around. So you get to see like how a lot of people at this age in a group would, I mean, it's kind of like a Lord of the Flies kind of situation, but not in nature, just in a school. And it's just really, kind of fascinating to see how the dynamics play out when you have like, one person who's a social pariah, a bunch of other like wolves who, are herding together against someone. And then like what happens when there's kind of like a new kid that comes in and, how do things change based on that? I do want to add a disclaimer. This movie does have self-harm in it. It has bullying, as Carrie mentioned, and there's just, a lot of that in it. So if those are kind of triggers a lot of the times for you, then yeah, this is a rough one at times. But, I think it's also funny in parts, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit funny. I would say it's like tangential to horror. It's definitely more of like a psychological thriller.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't classify this as like traditional horror, even like a horror psychological thriller. Really, we are reviewing it kind of as a horror movie, and there definitely are horror elements to it, but like definitely don't go into this thinking it's going to be like a straight horror movie.
Yeah, I mean, it takes its time and it like builds its characters and it, builds its story and like really makes you live in that world of these kids, and just goes through like what little idiot kids talk about, and and then it goes through, makes you live in this like idea of you have to integrate to these kids, and these kids, a lot of them are kind of like psychopaths in this movie. I was like really weirded out about how just like kind of crazy they were. I don't remember as a kid like being in any groups like this, so it was just like really like interesting to see it play out. And you have, of course, the bullied kids that you kind of root for, and it's just fascinating to see how everything's going to go down with this. And honestly, I think it has like a satisfying ending, even though it leaves some things a little bit more open. And I thought it had like good music, and the music actually plays a really good part in the story. And this has an exceptional score.
Yeah.
The
The score is horror.
the score is very horror. It's like when you wonder, like, is like Predator a horror movie? And you go, kind of, like there's a monster hunting people. It's kind of a slasher in a way. But how you can really tell sometimes is if the score is scary, and the Predator score is scary. Not the Predator, but the original Predator. And like, yeah, that's kind of like how it is here with the Plague. It's just like a lot of like using like, what was it, like sighs and stuff like that, just
Yeah.
like weird kind of vocalizations that just
Mhm.
are so off-putting that it's just like makes you kind of like unnerved a lot of the time. And I just really dug this one. I thought the characters were really fascinating. Like there's a very few times where I'm in a horror movie or just in a movie and I'm just like glued, and this one was one of those. So for me, so far, I think this might be my favorite of the Independent Spirit features, which is which is saying a lot because you got Sorry Baby in there, which is incredible.
That's still my favorite.
You have Train Dreams, which is incredible. And we haven't finished Twinless, but yeah, this one is pretty good. I'd say, you want to go to the theater to check to, support films like this. This would be a perfect one to do. I kind of wish I was going to the theater to see this because I'm just thinking about like the score, like really big and loud. But yeah, a lot of great like psychological thrills in this. And I don't know, anything more to add about this one.
I don't think so. The acting's really good, especially considering
Oh yeah,
it's all kids. They are fantastic, or not all kids, but it's basically all kids and Joel Edgerton.
yeah,
They're all. I mean, Joel Edgerton's great, and the kids are great. So
yeah. I'll shout out Everett Blanc is the main kid, and then you have Kaio Martin, and both of those guys were nominated for awards. And then the other Kenny Rasmussen is the bullied kid, Eli. And yeah, all fantastic. And yeah, no, this was such a surprise, and I can't wait to see more films like this. So shout out to the director and the crew behind this one, because The Plague is pretty awesome. Yeah, go ahead and check this one out if you can. Check out a lot of our other stuff on the channel, and comment if you've seen this, or if you want to see this, or if you've seen things like it, or anything like that. Make sure you like, subscribe, and anything else, Gary?
yeah, let us know if you saw this one or see it. Let us know what you think about it in the comments.
Absolutely. And with that, stay scared.